because I was supposed to be going out to New York in September and escorting Carol Howe out there.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And
I miss you by a month. I'm only going to be there in October.
oh no, yeah.
It's too bad. That would have been
All
fun to
right.
see you.
Yeah, it would be fun to see you. My goodness. All right, so we're live on YouTube, Rev Wayne Stills. I'm turning the mic over to you, my friend.
Yeah. Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Admin from Wayne Stills from Miracles Everywhere on ACIM Gather. ACIM Gather. Let's just get going here. Today we are going to let's see. There we go. There we go. So today we're going to I'm gonna play the lesson. I haven't played the lesson in a while, so we're gonna play the lesson today, and then I'm gonna do and then we have From the Christ Mind. We're gonna have From the Christ Mind. We have Christ. So I would stick around here on the radio or stick around. It's gonna be a fun. It's fun. It's always fun to when we have free talks. And we sometimes barely get through the material because we're talking so much about it. So stick by and the voice of God, as it is in the course. It's the same voice, a little bit more approachable if you knew the material, and it will inspire you as the course, as the book is meant to inspire you to start the course or go back to the course. If you've been away from it, so stay around. I think you'll like it. All right, so I'm gonna play this. Find this out, and we're set up. All right. Okay, so this is lesson 165, and we're gonna play it. I'm gonna talk about it briefly, I guess, if you'd like, and then let my mind, not my mind deny the thought of God. Amen.
Lesson 165. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. What makes this world seem real except your own denial of the truth that lies beyond? What but your thoughts of misery and death obscure the perfect happiness and the eternal life your Father wills for you? And what could hide what cannot be concealed except illusion? What could keep from you what you already have except your choice to see it not, denying it is there? The thought of God created you. It left you not, nor have you ever been apart from it an instant. It belongs to you. By it you live. It is your source of life, holding you one with it, and everything is one with you because it left you not. The thought of God protects you, cares for you, makes soft your resting place and smooth your way, lighting your mind with happiness and love. Eternity and everlasting life shine in your mind because the thought of God has left you not and still abides with you. Who would deny his safety and his peace, his joy, his healing and his peace of mind, his quiet rest, his calm awakening, if he but recognized where they abide? Would he not instantly prepare to go where they are found, abandoning all else as worthless in comparison with them? And having found them, would he not make sure they stay with him and he remain with them? Deny not heaven. It is yours today, but for the asking. Nor need you perceive how great the gift, how changed your mind will be before it comes to you. Ask to receive, and it is given you. Conviction lies within it. Till you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains. Yet God is fair. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. Ask with desire. You need not be sure that you request the only thing you want. But when you have received, you will be sure you have the treasure you have always sought. What would you then exchange for it? What would induce you now to let it fade away from your ecstatic vision? For this sight proves that you have exchanged your blindness for the seeing eyes of Christ. Your mind has come to lay aside denial and accept the thought of God as your inheritance. Now is all doubting past, the journey's end made certain, and salvation given you. Now is Christ's power in your mind to heal as you were healed. For now you are among the saviors of the world. Your destiny lies there and nowhere else. Would God consent to let his Son remain forever starved by his denial of the nourishment he needs to live? Abundance dwells in him, and deprivation cannot cut him off from God's sustaining love and from his home. Practice today in hope. For hope indeed is justified. Your doubts are meaningless, for God is certain, and the thought of him is never absent. Sureness must abide within you who are host to him. This course removes all doubts which you have interposed between him and your certainty of him. We count on God, and not upon ourselves, to give us certainty. And in his name we practice as his word directs we do. His sureness lies beyond our every doubt. His love remains beyond our every fear. The thought of him is still beyond all dreams and in our minds according to his will.
All right. This one, the best thing I've ever read. The thought of God created you, it lets you not, nor have you ever been apart from him for an instant. The thought of God, what is the thought of God? The thought of God is perfect. It's perfection, right, Lynn? I mean, it's absolute. It's perfect. It goes with. That's what it's like. If omnipresent perfection exists, then there's no such thing as sickness. Remember the interpretation of sickness. The interpretation of sickness. I interpret sickness as that particular energy in that particular form I call sickness. That particular walking, when you walk down the street the way you walked in the street, is slower than everyone else. That slowness is sickness. The way your body looks is sickness. We don't know. It's just the way the things are. And if you don't feel good, you want to feel better, then feel better. But there are people who don't feel good and they don't care. And they move closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to hootlessness until eventually they can feel it's almost as if they're separate from their feelings. And you realize the feelings kind of go by as the emotional version of thoughts. Your feelings, and they just thoughts wrapped up with emotions. So you don't need your feelings anymore than you want your thoughts. Your feelings are just kind of like riding the ocean, you know. Feelings and thoughts go together like a surfer on the ocean. It's fun to ride your feelings. But you're eventually going to fall. Out too long, eventually you fall, you're tired. The thought of God protects you, cares for you, makes you soft your resting place, and smooth your way, lighting your mind with happiness and love. You know, I was in the road once with my I've seen it a bunch of times, but the first time I saw this sign on the road, it said, "I love you." It said, "I have faith in you. I trust in you, Jesus." But when I first saw it, it said, "I trust in you," and then underneath it, it said Jesus. And I thought what it was saying was, I trust in you, Jesus, meaning that Jesus was saying it to me. And I was so shocked. I said, wow, what a great sign. What a wonderful, fantastic sign that is. Jesus looked at me and said, I have faith in you. I have trust in you. I love you. No, we know God loves us. But usually the sign, but that's not what the sign said. It said, I trust in you, Jesus. Now, that was a normal sign. Love Jesus or else. Have faith in Jesus or else. But the thing Jesus was saying, I have faith in you. I trust in you. You do your thing, and I got your back. That's my Jesus. That's my spirit. That's my teacher. Whatever teacher with name you give him, if he gets your back, if he's your defense attorney, he doesn't care what you did. He'll defend you no matter what. He has your back. That's his job. That's happily his function to defend you against the prosecutor, the ego, who loves to get in your way. There's no God. There's no use for optimism. There's only get aheadism, fatalism, step over the other personism, hurt the other personism. Gotta do what you gotta do. You would deny your safety and your peace, your joy, your healing, and your peace of mind, your quiet rest, your calm awakening. We all do that on a regular basis because we're all kind of stupid. We're all stupid people for Christ. A lot of us are stupid for idiots for Christ or idiots for the ego. Not many of us are geniuses for Christ. That's okay. All right. All right. I'm feeling pretty good now. Lynn, if you're around, I'm ready to rock and roll. Um,
Sounds good. I was going to say, Ed, who's here in the room, he's been following. There's a lady that's been posting Teddy's um,
oh,
uh,
really?
workbook lessons, and so Ed's been reading or following Teddy's workbook lesson, and he's grown
Yeah.
quite fond of Teddy. And I was going to say, Wayne used to run a program at night here,
Yeah.
and Teddy would come in.
Yeah,
Uh,
she said a lot. He come in. He loves Teddy. We got along Teddy and I. He used to come by at night and hang around. And he was always in the room. We always saw his name in the room. And suddenly he would light up. He'd say, "Oh, Teddy's here." And he would hang around. And he'd be talking. We talk about Master Teacher a lot, and what he was doing and so forth. We had a good time. And then he'd be gone. I was there every night of the week. I was there 6 nights a week, so I was there from 12 to 5, 12 to 6. So he'd pop in sometimes. And he also used to send me some goodies over in the mail, but we won't talk about that.
yeah, well, yeah, let's not talk about that. He was our buddy for
Yeah.
quite some time, and um, actually got me through a lot of stuff because I had that accident. Broke my leg and got my eye, poked out, etc. And he was he was helpful to me, believe
Yeah,
me, in getting through
absolutely.
all that. So,
Absolutely. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
all right. So
Mm.
we are reading From the Christ Mind
Yeah.
by Daryl Morley Price.
Yes.
And let me get it up and
It's one of these
open.
books where while you're reading it, I feel it's not the course.
Yeah,
You get wrapped up in it, oh, that's right, it's not the course. But it might as well be kind of, you know?
it might as well be. Yeah,
Yeah, it might as well be.
because yeah, it is very the course. So,
Yeah. I
all
mean, the guy,
right,
Darrell Morley Price would tell you that. And if you read the beginning, he says, this is the same voice as the course. And I'm doing this not to be an extension of the course, but to be a supplement that points you back to the course.
exactly, and that's what it does. I mean, it is brilliant, I think.
Yeah.
So, very clear.
Yes, I
So,
agree. All
all
right.
right, here we
That's
go.
why. So, you're doing so here
Chapter
last
2.
time. 'Last night.
The Arrival of Truth.
I hear nothing.
Did you want to say something,
I
Wayne?
hear nothing. We heard nothing.
Oh, you're not hearing it? Well,
No,
that's my fault for not sharing correctly.
no
Thank you
problem.
for pointing that out.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I always blame, I think, why don't they just make it natural? If you're playing, you're sharing it, it's gonna play. Okay, let's start all over then. Let's
It attempts to substitute
Yeah.
falsity for truth, fear for love,
there.
and separation for oneness. As long as you are driven by the movement of ego-based thought, you will not be attracted to truth. There are but two systems of thought, one true and one false. When falsity is preferred, is truth absent. If you but recognized the cost to you in suffering of allegiance to the ego, you would raise to question all that you now believe. Your beliefs and perception based on belief bring about your experience. Perception and belief literally construct the world you see and determine your experience of it. You see what you believe, and you believe what you want to believe. It is there because you want it to be there. Yet is this forgotten, absent from awareness, and so it must be if you are to impute reality and independence to the world you see. This picture of reality could not be long maintained unless you forgot your role in making it. Belief in guilt. The belief in guilt, sin, and attack holds this world together in your mind, giving it its appeal. Unless the world provided you with something that has value to you, you would cease to maintain it. What value does it have? The world as you see it provides you with scapegoats, with people and situations onto whom you can project guilt, blame, and punishment. The deep guilt that lives in your mind and the need to punish that guilt is an intolerable burden that must find release. Yet the ego cannot allow guilt to be totally healed, for its existence depends on it. Its solution is to project guilt and the need to attack, to punish, onto the world, onto your brothers. The inner tension is thus temporarily lessened and made tolerable, yet never is it completely healed. Thereby is the belief in guilt and attack strengthened.
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah. It's funny. We did this last week, which was fine.
Yeah,
It's good though. It was worth going over again. Might as well.
absolutely.
I remember it said one part. I remember the last part where it said, "Oh, we can go back up. Is that possible?"
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to replay that last paragraph,
Okay.
the whole thing. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure, sure.
All right, let's do it. To do that, I have to do this.
Guilt is belief in guilt. The belief in guilt, sin, and attack holds this world together in your mind, giving it its appeal. Unless the world provided you with something that has value to you, you would cease to maintain it. What value does it have? The world as you see it provides you with scapegoats, with people and situations onto whom you can project guilt, blame, and punishment. The deep guilt that lives in your mind and the need to punish that guilt is an intolerable burden that must find release. Yet the ego cannot allow guilt to be totally healed, for its existence depends on it. Its solution is to project guilt and the need to attack, to punish, onto the world, onto your brothers. The inner tension is thus temporarily lessened and made tolerable, yet never is it completely healed. Thereby is the belief in guilt and attack strengthened. Guilt is either true or false. It cannot be both.
Okay. So, what we just read again, the course,
Can you up to it? Can we look at it?
yeah, yeah, let's see. Um,
Yeah, perfect. The
yeah,
first line is, I remember we definitely read it. It was that sin, guilt, and attack holds the world together
yeah,
and gives its appeal. So the world will disappear if those three things disappear.
exactly.
And
And
literally holds the material universe together. I mean, that's what created it. Matter itself has been created by those three energies. Right?
absolutely.
And everything is consciousness, and that's created. The consciousness is created for in itself, produced in itself a universe made out of attack, belief, and guilt. I mean, not belief, attack, and guilt, and death. Passion and pain. There you go.
Yeah, that's the reading for today that I posted, and exactly what he's saying. Um, that uh, if we if we are attracted to pain, which is what we actually are, then that's what makes the world what it is. Um, let's see, where was it? I was reading this. Um, okay, so only the mind can set a purpose, and only the mind can see the means for its accomplishment and justify its use. Peace and guilt are both conditions of the mind to be attained, and these conditions are the home of the emotion that calls them forth and therefore is compatible with them. And the emotion, uh, uh, he says, um, is what you want. The world that we see is the world that we want because we are attracted to pain. We're attracted to guilt. We're attracted to, I mean, why do you think Criminal Minds or Law and Order or the
Any horror
uh,
movie.
any horror movie, all those things, why do you think those are so popular? Is
Sure.
because, we want to see punishment. We want to,
Yeah, sure.
we,
But my daughter says I don't think she finds it real, those type of movies. She,
yeah,
she, she doesn't really find the movies where there's happy endings or anything like that real to her. So she wants the most specific. TikTok has you see a couple of things that are disturbing. They fill you up with disturbing stuff, and so she sees disturbing stuff.
yeah,
And she just for her movies that she's attracted to it. So she thinks about that stuff now. She wants to see it over. I mean, I'm the same way when I grew up.
yeah,
The
yeah.
movies, the movies I watched were all majorly disturbed.
Yeah, see, I can't watch those kind of movies.
I know.
I those kind of movies upset me and always have my whole life. So, I'm not watching that kind of movie. I'm watching movies where good things are happening and people are happy. And
That's what I
but
want to do also.
that's all.
I love doing that. Since I was a teenager, I've been doing that. But now my teenager, and now she's in her 20s, she loves the movies I used to love when I was a kid. And I said to her, she said, why you doing when you were a kid, Dad? I'm like, yeah, but now, those are old wounds. Those are scabbed over those wounds. Now you're opening up fresh wounds for me. These are new horror movies. These aren't the old. I mean, I can watch Halloween over and over again. You know, I can watch The Shining, or I've seen it 10 million times already. Those are old wounds, and they're fine. They kind of they don't hurt. But the new wounds, seeing Smile,
Oh yeah.
I could have done without. I mean, it's a good movie. It was well made, a nice idea. I never thought of that before. Could have done without seeing it.
Yeah, there's no um redeeming quality of it. The older movies, there would always come out to be some good thing that came from it, or some happy ending that came from it. And these movies now, they're just mean for being mean. Although there's some that I will watch, and I don't know if you ever watched like John Wick. Have you ever seen those
I
movies?
haven't I heard about it. I've never seen it though. I've never. That's what's his name, right?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, kind of right. Yeah, no, I've never seen that. Never seen that.
And there's one that's called Nobody, and these are guys that are like ruthlessly killing people right and left, but they're all bad people. It's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies, when Jamie
Oh yeah,
Kurt,
yeah,
have you ever killed anybody? And
yeah.
he's like on this truth serum,
But
and he
we're
goes,
all bad people. Yeah,
yes,
we're all
but they
bad.
were all bad.
Yeah. I remember that. But we're all bad. That's funny.
That's what I think about when I think about this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay to kill bad people.
that's right. That's right.
It's
Well, you
crazy.
know, if you kill somebody, they might as well be bad. Yes, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You're gonna kill them. And that's obviously the ego, how the ego loves to operate
Sure. It's like
by,
when I was younger, I used to be in a bookstore and I wanted the Bible, and I had the money for it. I said, "Well, if you can steal something, it should be a Bible."
yeah,
He get in trouble for stealing a Bible, and the other, the original was, if he can't steal a Bible, that's horrible. So it's now, it's how you look at it, I guess.
yeah.
You
You
know,
don't have to steal a
stealing a
Bible.
Bible, it's yeah,
Yeah,
it can be good, really good, or really bad.
yeah,
The bookstore people will get really upset. Say, how can dare you steal the Bible? It's horrible. But I would say, yeah, if I want to steal anything, it should be a Bible. You know,
right.
I,
I'm going to read the Bible if you believe that that was an important thing. But if you, like me, I look at the Bible and I'm like, talk about your horror stories.
oh, I know, I know. I was a kid. I like to read that. I never really believed it in it big time, but I like to read it, especially the Book of Revelation. I like that. To me, I find that exciting because
Yeah.
we really believe it. So it was like what we were reading like Greek myth almost, but it was like Christian myth. Yeah,
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff.
yeah, sure
But
was.
go back and read like the book of Job, which,
Yeah.
there's a whole story about a guy he was faithful to God and God loved him and he loved God, and the devil came and said, "Hey, he loves you because you're nice to him. Start being mean to him and see what happens." And
Okay.
and God's like, "Okay, I'll try that."
Yeah.
And first thing, he kills his whole family, burns his
Yeah.
house down, kills covers him in boils all over his body. The whole thing. Like, oh, well, thank you, God. And he was still faithful, and so God won the bet and gave him then all that stuff back. But did he get the same wives and the same, I mean, it's like these people and all these things that were involved just were like nothing. They
Right. Oh, yeah, supposedly he had double back, supposedly. Who knows? I mean, the story's obviously a legend. It was true. I think the idea, it was that story came out, supposedly, at the time of Genesis, about the same time. So it's a
yeah,
very old story about God. And basically, the message was basically, we have no clue why these bad people suffer, good people suffer. And don't try to figure it out. That's the basic
yeah,
message. Because he comes out in the end and goes, where were you when God made the stars? That's what he
yeah,
says. Where were you? Where were you? Sorry, sorry. He said, sorry, I didn't mean
yes.
I
And
didn't
that's
mean
what
to.
yeah, what a jerk.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was the mean father.
he was a mean dad,
Yeah.
not like the
And,
prodigal son. So,
no,
but
no,
that was a Jesus story, not a Old
right.
Testament
Yeah, it
story.
was an ancient God story.
All right. So you want to continue on? And
Yeah,
Ed, if is Ed still here?
yeah, he's right
Uh,
there.
yeah. Okay, you're welcome to pipe in if you see or think anything as well.
You'll
Yeah.
tell
Oh,
him.
Les Miserables. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a horrible story. My God, what a terrible story that is. There's no redeeming quality there. I don't even know why people like it. you know.
But it was a good movie.
Right, but there.
With Charles Lawton. That's the one I saw. I mean, just Charles
Oh
Lawton,
wow.
the acting and the Frederick Mark,
He,
uh,
oh my gosh.
the acting, like this is probably before I was becoming whatever we want to call it, conscious or whatever. But I was and Hawkins used to talk about that, like watch movies and just watch yourself and how your reaction, what your aversions and your attractions are. And I had compassion for Frederick March, going to jail for stealing some bread to feed his family, you know.
Yeah, it was
The shit that happens to Job happens to people. That was the idea of it. It happens to people, and when they lash out at God, and God kind of, he doesn't come back with a good answer. He never does. In
right.
this world, he comes up with a crappy answer. It was just too bad, so sad on you.
Yeah.
I made the world, you didn't, so shut up. That was basically what he
Yeah,
said to him. And then so, but if you think about it, how many people hear that from God? Most of the world hears the very same thing when they ask God. And can you help
Well,
me?
isn't that the Old Testament God? I mean, isn't that the
Yeah,
God of
yeah,
Abraham and
yeah,
Moses?
that God.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's funny. The New Testament God is not necessarily much different. If you think hell forever, burning in hell, that was the New Testament. The whole
Well,
Right.
but I've sat with that for so long and listened to so many Christians and whatnot over the last few years, because this is really when it's busted open for me. And I sit with that and I go, Jesus, he said, "Woe is me, the man." I've heard Course in Miracles people try and rip that up. Like, what's he saying? And all he's saying, what I got is, all he's saying is, if you follow that voice, it's gonna be woe is me. And I've been in woe is me, letting go of addictions on that end. So I don't think he was saying you're gonna be in hellfire. He's saying you're gonna be in hell,
You
because
are.
and he says that in the Course of Miracles. So you're in hell right now. We're just working with the deceived mind. Even the right mind is still deceived, because you're not through the gates yet.
right
So
on.
we're just trying to get you to turn around. And Teddy Poppy talked about this off the turnaround. So you're not heading into darkness anymore. Now you're heading back towards the light. But the whole New Testament is very powerful. I mean, the Jefferson, who wrote the Constitution, that's
I
a
think you
that's a
wrote
spiritual
it.
that's a spiritual. He was enlightened being. That's a spiritual document. Do I know
Yeah,
that for a fact? No, but
you should read
I
that.
mean, you can read it. You can come to have your own reason to do it. But Jesus, and he just had the Jefferson Bible, which was everything in red. Only the only things Jesus said, and not anything what everybody else said. And that'll take you out. The Sermon on the Mount right there will take you out of hell, and that's the power of it. We're just coming on this new curriculum, and it's gone through the science of mind. It's gone all through these different stages to be released from the grip of the church, hierarchical church,
Okay.
to the true church, which is in our heart. It's within the divine spark within every one of us. So the New Testament, when he's talking about hellfire and all that, he's just telling you the truth about the about the false voice. But he's not trying to say God is sending you there. He's saying, that's what's going to happen if you follow that. I'm going,
I
that's
agree.
it.
I think the Bible is written by as Jesus said in the Bible. It can be trusted in some parts, and not in other parts it can't be trusted. It's like what the Gary used to call it. Gary Bernard. He'd say it's the gospel novels. And some if you had to read if you read the Gospels right, and you'll get you know how to if you had to read it. Like Ted obviously know how to read the New Testament. It's the same Jesus that was there as the same Jesus that's here now. There's no difference. He beat death somehow, and somehow he expanded his mind so he can be with all of us in our stories. And that's always been my perspective is that somehow he managed to figure out a way to do this. So that was worth me getting the book. Once I heard he wrote the book, I said, "Well, that's pretty interesting. Well, if he wrote this book, then he's worth me looking into it." you know. And so, because it's 2,000 years ago, there's some, in a strange way, he almost came back already. If you think
He
about it.
did, yeah,
You know, so yeah, so it's like it's fun. I don't read the book, and ever since I've been reading this book, and most of the time only this book, and recently I've been expanding a little bit with the personal life and for the Christ mind. But so yeah, so Jesus. I mean, if you know how to read that book, you can pick spots, and then the Gospels, and even Paul. If you know how to read Paul, parts of it he says are beautiful, absolutely fantastically beautiful, and then some of the stuff he says are wackadoo. And the same thing with the Gospels and with the Book of Revelation. And so you have to read it with a grain of salt and realize that it's when somebody dies, so when Elvis died or when Michael Jackson dies, the stuff they say about them, the movies they make about them, half of that's true, half of it's not true. You know, and that's sort of same idea. Half of it was true, half of it's not true. So yeah, and then some of it was not true on purpose because it was metaphor, and then they wanted it to be metaphor, and some of it was not true by mistake because the readers were involved. And
yeah,
which is cool. So that's what they do. I mean, they've been the most has lasted for a long time.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It has been. Ed, did you want to say something else? Or your hand is still up?
It's his love ass. All right.
Your
Oh
mic.
man, I'm having problems with the computer for a second, but uh oh man, it's it's cascading levels of consciousness. So like Paul's story, I've ripped people are ripping man, people are ripping the whole thing apart right now. As I guess they always have, but it's really coming to a head. And just uh but you gotta look through see the light in all of it. And Paul's story is so powerful because he well for me, this is all just from what I'm receiving, whatever that means. But his transformation, Paul is a living transformation.
Living miracle.
That's it. He you can see him and you hit on this Wayne. He well shit, he just excuse me. He just got knocked to his feet, right? Or did he get knocked off his horse? However he
Not,
did it,
not
Jesus.
of his high horse.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay, okay, yeah. Metaphor right there, but he uh he 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 gets infected or Jesus reveals himself for whatever reason. They say because he's going to go kill a bunch of whatever infidels and we don't even know the script is written. But from that point to the end, like Philippines, I think I was reading Philippines the other night was just like this this guy is a representation of me, of you, of all of us, the possibilities of how we can go from a murdering, judgmental whatever to a freaking when he's talking about he vision, he's talking about vision. He didn't have it in the beginning, but he's developed it through his devotion to like our devotion to A Course in Miracles, to his devotion of whatever, and the Lord keeps coming to him too. Jesus is keep coming to him throughout it to take him to the next level, to the next level, because oh, this is what the course promises you. You can ask for a miracle, but if it's just going to cause more harm, the Holy Spirit's not going to give it to you. So you can ask for whatever, but if you're not ready for for the next step, you're not going to receive it. You're going to have to go through whatever's whatever you need to master before you get to that step.
They call it vessel for it. You have to have enough room for it in your soul, so to speak, to take it. Otherwise, that's like the lottery. You win the lottery, but you can't handle it. You lose on one day of the year. You
yeah,
know,
Yeah.
you have to have the heart for it to take something in. Otherwise, it's just too much for you.
Well,
You
no, so just to close out on this whole thing with the Bible and the church for me, is like people are tearing it and people are hating on the church.
know.
Oh, I don't even want to get in denominations, but it's all of them basically. And they, but they obviously it needed to happen. If it didn't need to happen, it wouldn't have happened. but we needed to have 2,000 years. Well, I guess the Bible wasn't printed for 200 years or whatever. And that was at the Nicene Council. I was just talking with somebody yesterday. It was at the Nicene Council. And they basically burned people at the stake after they gave their testimony. If it was blasphemous, forget it. We'll burn it. We'll use it as fuel for the fire when we burn you. And so that's how we only ended up with so many gospels, until recently with the discovery of that stuff in the desert, whatever that was, I can't
Naimahandi.
remember.
Naimahandi.
There
Naimahandi
was a
library.
Gospel of Thomas, the
Oh,
Gospel of Thomas and those Dead Sea Scrolls. But the Gospel of Thomas is a powerful, powerful doctrine of what he's saying, which you can correlate directly to A Course in Miracles.
yes.
So what am I saying? I'm just saying that the hate on the church right now is a distraction. And I've talked with several people about their hate about the church, and I just say, it's about forgiveness. It needed to happen. Whatever it happened, and forgive them. They know not what they did. Well, maybe they did know what they did. Maybe they are controlled by it, but it's all for forgiveness. You're not going to change. You're not going to change. What do you say? Put the finger. Maybe you're not. But by forgiving them, I'm forgiven. Maybe in some lifetime I was a Pharisee or somebody that changed. That tried to control people through. Who knows? But the answer is not to hate on the church and, oh, they were so bad. Look what they did, and well, you're.
It's not like
I
Bill
don't know.
Hicks.
But you see, yeah, you see what I'm. I mean, that right there, you're already in a loop of hate. Like, forgive your enemy, pray for your enemy, pray for them. And this is what, like, I had this one neighbor who's just hating on Mr. T, and I just,
Mr.
again, she
T.
got into it last night for some reason. She tried to come out at me again with her. I just said, listen, we've been through this several times over the last year, and I'm only visiting here, but. Like, do you see, you're condemning your brother. I had to bring it back to, like, you're still hating, but he's doing this. And it's like,
Okay, let me just say something right now that just
yeah,
to me, all right. And the only
yeah,
reason that you're hearing it is because you need to straighten it out in your own thinking.
yeah,
So you don't need to talk to your neighbor about it or argue with her, or I know you're not arguing with her, but try to point out with her or anything. You need to sit in contemplation yourself and be clear in your mind that you have and can forgive that person. Because if you can't, you don't and you won't forgive Mr. T,
Mr.
which is
T.
my problem too. Not Mr. T with the gold chains, Mr. T with the gold toilet, that Mr. T. If we
I don't know who you're talking about.
if we can't forgive Mr. T ourselves, then we can't expect anybody else. And because you're saying it and I'm hearing it, I know it's my problem too. So this is where we can look together and say, whatever it is, I am willing to see him differently. I am willing to see him differently. And just practice that, in yourself and see if the next time you see this lady, she comes out and talks to you about the hummingbirds or the weather or the sky or she may completely change because you change your mind. That's how connected we are. So that's a suggestion. I'm not blaming you. I'm because I'm doing it too. It's like we're just so caught up in this thought system. And it is this attraction to guilt, this belief in guilt and sin and attack. That's what's keeping the world turning.
That's made world go around.
and I, I don't preface it, but having my fingers on my nose. I know
There,
I understand it always comes back to me. However, that being said, when I'm in a situation, I don't go around just I don't go around like I hear what he says. Don't go around correcting your brothers. I understand that, but I also understand that when I'm in a situation and I'm feeling compelled, that this is a prime teaching thing, and I understand too Hugh Lynn's and his thing, but I also have to have the development of trust within myself to go with what I'm not necessarily feeling, but what I'm receiving, and let the and while having the finger on my nose. Like
Yes, yes.
I don't got a problem with the guy. Me
Right.
me
Well,
personally,
apparently you do have a problem with him, or you wouldn't be hearing about other people's problems with him.
or I understand that, but that perspective. Or I'm in a situation because because I've been through that problem, not just with him, but with other figures. Like I'm actually mentioning now with the church, because I think I even said that. I put my finger on my nose and said, well, maybe I was that guy. I had a problem with a guy in a Course in Miracles, and he changed some stuff and did some stuff, and I was like, that why did that guy do that? Like he changed the whole thing, like. And I realized like this is for me. Maybe I was one of those guys at the Nicene Council that burned people at the stake. Like all these possibilities filled my mind, and I was like, okay, uh, I don't condemn my brother, and if I am still having a grievance, then I can go to the bottom rung of the ladder, the very first step, and say, well, I'm praying for his soul. Yeah, I still see him as an enemy. I don't know why or how, and what he did seems damaging to whatever. And I can at the very least uh, pray for my enemy. And that's what he's saying at the very least. So I'm at a place uh, where my finger is on my nose, and I'm not saying discounting what you're saying. I'm just reaffirming that, um that when I sit with this lady or anyone else, I'm realizing like, okay, this is like, what's he say, all lessons, all things are lessons God would have me learn, and forgive, and I will see this differently. And then the second one is forgive, and this will disappear. So that's kind of how I I walk into these situations, as I'm walking into right now, like with you, because I hear what you're saying, and I'm grateful uh, that you're saying it, because again, it makes me reaffirm that even in our dialogues, when this stuff comes up, that I reaffirm that my finger's on my nose. I'm gonna stop right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. A little thing about Paul, when you mentioned Paul before, we were talking about Paul. One thing, and you absolutely right when you said that you reading him, you're reading about yourself. And one thing about that character in the New Testament, he's very human. And he's almost like he's bipolar almost. I mean, he has these swings of moods. And if you read it that way, it's very exciting to read. It's very exciting to read him because he's really up and he's on top of the world. And then this minute he's angry and he seems to be he's wailing against certain people. And he's back and up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think he's a fascinating character. And that's what I meant by some stuff he says, wackadoo. And we're assuming he wrote everything in the New Testament. And I'm not sure if you said,
yeah.
you know,
That's the thing
yeah,
because there's a lot of people that believe that there was more than one author of those
right,
letters.
right.
Paul was
And
one, and this another person was the other one. And so, they're pretty sure by the way that they're written that it had to have been a different person. So either Paul was bipolar
yeah.
or uh,
Right. Well, I go with the bipolar ones. This is a little bit more, knitted together as one story. I try to see if I can make a story for myself. And bipolar works for me. So,
yeah, yeah. Uh,
yeah,
or any poll at all.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Let's
you're right.
see. We have about time. Let's listen to another
All right.
section here.
To see guilt anywhere in anyone for any reason is to make it real. How you see your brother is how you see yourself. What you see as real in your brother, you will see in yourself. This is a law of mind that is always in effect, even in the world of illusion. To project your sense of guilt onto your brother and to condemn him for it, which is to attack him, will never rid your mind of the guilt you carry. To see guilt anywhere is to confirm it in your mind, and thus condemn yourself to further suffering. Fear always accompanies guilt, and suffering is the inevitable result. The end of suffering is the end of guilt. Only the guilty suffer, for only they have need of it. Innocence demands nothing of anyone, but rather wills only to give. All it sees are worthy of the gifts it gives, for it sees only itself everywhere and in everything. The innocent cannot suffer or condemn. They know not fear, and so love is all they have to give. Those who know love only need not fear. For them the world has become a happy place ruled by love. Everywhere they look, they see only the face of innocence. Holiness and innocence are the qualities of the capital S Self, the Christ, the one Spirit that is the truth of all. Where its face is seen, love has returned to bless the world, freed from fear, and under its gentle gaze are all forgiven and returned to the kingdom of God. Guilt demands vengeance to be paid in blood and suffering. The guilty see no one as innocent, for to do so would deny the fundamental alleged truth on which their world is based. They see a guilty world in which every hand is raised against them, and everywhere attack lies in wait. The face of friendship but conceals the desire to condemn, for no one can be trusted. The guilty have no friends, only temporary alliances entered into for specific purposes. Their shifting and unstable goals make them all the more untrustworthy, and nowhere can safety and security be found. The guilty cannot be trusted, for their guilt has driven them mad, and madness is treacherous to all. Such is the bleak picture those who believe in guilt have constructed to represent the world wherein they live. And everyone is waiting to do to them what they think they have done to their brothers. Vengeance given and received makes love impossible. Where love is not, fear rules, bringing pain and misery to all. Is this what you want to be true? A life marked by fear and pain, where you are alone in a friendless world? It is only your belief in and defense of guilt that condemns you to such a world. If you are willing to leave guilt behind, to forgive the world for what never occurred, to extend the hand of friendship to your brother, you will be shown a world where mercy rules and kindness is given to all.
All right, I'm stopping that right there because this is
Yeah.
the answer, right?
Yep, it sure is. Yeah, the end of suffering, the end of guilt. We talked about that last week too, I think, didn't we? The end of suffering is the end of guilt.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's one of my favorite lines. The end of suffering is the end of guilt. I should post that. I like posting quotes that are good, ACIM quotes that are good. That's a goodie.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can't leave guilt behind as long as you're condemning someone else.
right. Yeah. You believe in guilt, you believe in guilt. That's what your defense attorney is. You got your defense attorney. You're right. God is omnipresent innocent. So if he's your defense attorney, he gets rid of the guilt right away. But you have to let him lead the way with his omnipresence. We don't have any individuality. So you surrender your individuality to the omnipresence of God. And that's where you have the willing to allow yourself to have that change. So there's and by opening up your heart, opening up your mind, opening up your vessel of your soul, and all right, allow yourself to come to me, God. Just come to me and allow me to lose all this illusionary negativity that doesn't really exist anyhow. And see if, hopefully, but keep reminding yourself every single day that there is a symbol of separation, including your own body, symbol of separation, and then move towards oneness. And somehow, some way, you lose, you unravel your mind, you unravel your consciousness to the perfection.
That's it. Exactly. So I have a song I just want to play
Nice.
to end us up. It's not like a copyright. It's one of these, I think it's AI actually. Uh,
Huh.
I'm getting more used to AI. I've been reading the Pope. I think, he has some thought about it.
Huh.
And I, tend to agree with him in a lot of stuff. So here,
Huh.
it's
He's
called
from my neck of the woods.
what's that?
He's from my neck of the woods.
Yeah, yeah. That being your neighbor. All right.
And
So
Very cool.
let me just say the last what I'm getting out of that last whatever that last paragraph there is
sure.
the choice for pain and fear or whatever. I don't remember the quote. It's gone now, but the choice for pain is the choice for separation.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm not the wound, I'm not the fall, not the silence, not the wall. I'm not the night they couldn't see. I'm the best me rising free. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes. Not the moment, not the mark. I am more than what went dark. I hold the sun behind my skin. I plant the truth and grow within. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each breath I take, I shift, I rise. The story ends, the soul flies. I'm not what happened to me. I know say to I lift the veil, I walk His light. I rise beyond. Rahmilo Sahdina.
Oops. Sorry. Oh no. I didn't mean to close it. I did not mean to close that, but
Well, it
it
was quick, quick, a good ending, very quick, powerful ending.
very powerful. I'm posting a link in the chat.
Oh, good. I see it.
I was trying to see if we
It's
can get
never,
the link.
it's never happened to me. All right, good. I see it. Cool.
But yeah, let's see if I can finish it. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, it's a beautiful song, and
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not. There we go.
Take a shift, I ride. The story ends, the soul flies. I'm not what happened to me. I know, say too much. I lift the veil, I walk this line. Solumentura, I rise beyond. Ramino Satino.
Nice. Very nice. I like that.
Yeah, very pretty.
Yeah, very
So
nice.
true. And
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for coming by. Ed, it was great talking with you as usual. And Lynn, well, my pleasure again. Is doing the book with you. I'm having a great time. And I'm back tomorrow, actually.
back tomorrow. That's right.
Tomorrow
We'll
at
see you tomorrow.
the 11, 12 noon Eastern, right?
I believe so. Let me look real quick and make real sure.
12 or 1. I don't know.
Yeah,
12.
1 o'clock
Oh, 1
Eastern.
o'clock Eastern. All right,
Yeah.
1 o'clock Eastern, I'll be here. Take care, Ed. Take it easy.
All right, you
Come
guys.
by
I love you
tomorrow.
both.
I'll be here tomorrow. Come by 1 o'clock Eastern, and I'm doing chapter section 11 in the manual.
Very good.
How is peace possible today? So it's one of my favorite passages and one of my favorite sessions, and we'll have a good time. All right.
Awesome. All right. I love
All
you,
right.
Wayne.
You
Love you,
too. Take
Ed.
care. Bye bye.